The spring weather here in Vancouver has been kind of garbage, but that's okay. Thank you, video games. I've been having some nice virtual outdoor time in MLB The Show 23, and now most recently, EA Sports returned to golf with PGA Tour. I've been playing this on the PlayStation 5, and right off the bat, I have to say that the visuals for this game are absolutely outstanding. Gorgeous courses, gorgeous flybys. You really get the sense that you're traveling the world and visiting 30 famous golf courses around the world and experiencing everything. And there's different weather patterns and different wind conditions that you have to deal with as you're golfing. And it does feel like you go on a journey, which is great. The visuals also do a lot of the heavy lifting for this game because there are concessions that you have to make. First of all, the game is plagued with lag all the way through it, not just when you're on the courses and you're taking your shots, which you have to get accustomed to, and I'll talk about that in a second. But even going through the menus in PGA Tour is kind of laggy, and you kind of overshoot some of the selections and stuff. You don't quite know where everything is. All of that should have been tuned and should have been a lot more precise. But when you take the course and you're teeing off onto the fairway and you're trying to do your putts on the green, you're also contending with some lag. Now, what happens is everything right now, currently, as I've been playing it, is tied to the analog stick controls, and you can choose to swing using the left analog stick or change it to the right analog thumbstick, and it's all very precise in terms of the game registering your motions, and any slight deviation on a straight line is going to see your shots just sailing off into water hazards or bunkers. I spent a lot of bunker time in this game, but you do start to acclimate because it isn't just like a one-to-one swing. You see it happen on screen because your mind does the trick, and you need to pull it back in a straight line and then send it forward with a straight line, and there is force attached to it as well. And man, those DualSense controllers do a lot of great work in this game as well. The feedback is fantastic, and you also get other cool extra benefits like the ball dropping into the hole. You'll hear the little audio cue from that in the speaker on the DualSense. But yes, you do have to contend with the lag, and the game doesn't do itself any favors by not really training you and not really giving you a lot of notification. I mean, you get audio notification, and the commentary is excellent. As great as the visuals are, the sound really keeps up with this game as well. Great audio commentary all the way through. It's nuanced. It's got some really clever anecdotes and some nice bits that you'll hear repeated again, but it's just done with such a tasteful, respectful way. And the music isn't in your face as well. There's a lot of kind of muzak qualities to it, like you'll hear variations on bands that you might like, but it's all tempered to be as least offensive as possible. And I thought that was a good choice because this is a game that's meant to appeal to golf fans of every size and every kind of interest level. It's also a video game. It's also an effective golf experience for people that just like to play a nice video game. But you do have to learn how to play the game. There aren't even instant replays in this game, which is kind of baffling to me because you feel like a freaking champion when things start to click into place and you do that nice long drive, and then you get a nice approach shot onto the green, and then you putt it in, and you might have a long putt, and you get it. And I was screaming when I was doing that. I was, yeah! My wife must have thought I was nuts down here, just freaking out over missing a putt. I actually had a couple of, I hate to say this, I had a couple rage quits with this game because it's tough. It doesn't give you any sort of easy way out. And of course, what happens is if you give it time, like most of these sports games, you will start to get better. But in this one, it just feels like you really, really earn it because there is no like on-ramp. You kind of have to know the fundamentals of golf, and you've got to apply that to your stick sensitivity on your DualSense controller, and if you're playing it on the PlayStation 5. And you kind of have to know these courses as well because they're crazy. Some of them have bunkers on every side. Some of them have water hazards everywhere. There's an awesome hole in the Arizona course where you're surrounded by the fans, and they erupt in applause if you manage to get it on your par 3 on the green on that first shot. They just freak out, and it's really cool. The presentational feedback from the game itself is awesome. I just wish that the game had a bit of an easier entree so that you could start to learn, and I feel like it's a little bit clumsy. Like the feedback that you get on screen when you do slip and you do hit it off into the rough or whatever, you get this little tiny line that shows your progression on your swing. Eventually, you'll start to make that connection, but half the time I was playing this game, it was like, well, I hit it properly. Why is it sailing way over there? Or I put it correctly. Why is it not working? Now, what they do in this game to help you kind of learn the ropes is they have a bunch of different challenges spread out over a variety of different tournaments and sponsor sort of objectives and things. And what you'll do is you might have to go up to a tee and you have to hit 5 shots in a row that land on the fairway. You get these little stars and you're earning achievements for completing courses, completing challenges, and you can set up the way that you play the game in a bunch of different ways. There's a quick play mode where you can play in regular stroke mode, or there's skins, or there's foursomes, or team alternate. There's also a career mode where you're going and trying to earn your way to the Masters. Good luck with that. And then you can also get into online matches and challenge other people as well. There isn't a ton of flexibility with online components yet, but the challenges are actually really addictive and fun because they have all kinds of setups and scenarios that put you in, where a pro might have been like 5 years ago or something like that, and you have to achieve what they achieved. And you do feel so good. The feedback that you get when you accomplish something in this game is wonderful. I really like that. And you're also earning XP and all kinds of points that you can spend. It's the currency of the game that you can spend on leveling up your player, because you can customize your own player in this game, of course, not with a tremendous amount of robust features. There's no scanning your face or anything like that. You're picking specific heads, and the clothing options are pretty conservative. Everything about this game is kind of meant to be non-offensive. You're not going to confuse this with a Mario golf game or some of the other cartoony golf games that we've had over the years. But it plays great, even with the lagginess of the game and even with the difficulty of making your shots. And sometimes it does feel like it's a little bit random. It's like, I just made, a par 3 there, or I just made a par 4, or I got a birdie on the last hole, but now I'm just sailing way over the green. What is up with this game? So there is a little push-pull that you have to give with the game, but I've now gotten past that kind of hump, and I've played enough of it that I can come back and talk about my impressions here. And I gotta say, it's a blast. This is a very fun game to play. Yes, I want more. I want more options and more ways to play the game. I want instant replays, that go right back and show you how awesome your shot was. Some of the camera controls are a little bit janky with the game. And I do know that EA, they've come back to the sport after almost 10 years away, and they're kind of sharing the PGA license with 2K right now, which is a good thing, because now we're going to see some competition between the two golf games, and we'll see where that leads. But EA has said that in the next couple of weeks or so, I don't know when you're watching this video, they're going to bring back the 3-click swing kind of setup that they've had in golf games forever and ever. They're going to offer more career mode options. There's going to be some camera adjustments, and they're going to dig into some more features and keep adding to this. And I feel like this is a first step back into the arena, utilizing the horsepower of modern game systems, and it looks great. And honestly, that tactility off of the ball and the physics for where the ball goes and sails and bounces off to, and just the sense of accomplishment while you play this is so tactile and fun that they're off to a really good start. And of course, you can spend real money and buy the currency that you can spend in the games store to buy new outfits and new shirts and shoes and equipment and stuff like that. And you can toggle all of the skills and buff up your player, and you can give your player extra abilities, but you're earning a lot of that stuff on the fly as you go, provided you have the patience to get past the initial humps of the game, because it ain't easy. I mean, I definitely want to underline that. This is not an arcadey golf game, but it is really, really fun once you do give it some time. And, look at the visuals on this thing. It's gorgeous. So it's not perfect, but it is a lot of fun, and it's a great restart for EA in the PGA marketplace. I'm going to give PGA Tour a 7.5 out of 10.